If you've been trying to figure out how to get consulting clients on LinkedIn, and more importantly, how to turn those connections into paying clients, this video is going to give you exactly what you need. And stick with me because I'm also going to give you the biggest mistake that experts are making that has consequences far beyond LinkedIn. Step one is to curate the right network. LinkedIn is watching you, and not just what you're posting every day or what you're liking every day. LinkedIn's algorithm is watching who you connect with and who you follow. LinkedIn's algorithm uses that information in order to suggest other people to you on who you follow, but more importantly, it uses that information of who you're connected to in order to suggest you to more folks. That means those connection signals are going to put you in front of more right fit decision makers if your network is already made up of right fit decision makers. It will also use that information to decide which of your content to share with second degree connections. If your network is made up of right fit decision makers and those right fit decision makers are connected to more people like them, that means your events, your posts, your video shorts are going to get in front of even more decision makers inside of organizations. So all of that said, LinkedIn is going to follow your lead. It might be time to go back and look at your current set of connections right now and make sure that you're not connected only to thousands of other business coaches and consultants and gurus, but that 80% of your network is made up of those senior decision makers, leaders from inside of companies, and even connections inside of industry associations and professional associations and other organizations that could put you on their stages. Once you've taken care of making sure that your connections, your orbit on LinkedIn is made up of real decision makers, the second step is start posting content that actually speaks to decision makers. If you pay attention to what other consultants and experts are posting on LinkedIn, you're going to find that over 90% of the content that they're posting are either A, humble brags, or B, how-to tips that are really aimed at first-level managers or even individual contributors. Decision makers make decisions, and they're not just making decisions about what they're doing with their personal workday or how they're going to execute a project. Their goal is to make decisions that are going to further the key objectives and goals of their team, department, organization, or entire enterprise. That means you need to craft content that helps those decision makers to make better decisions about how they are solving the challenges and obstacles that are going on inside their organization, not give them a few more tips that they can execute that particular day. So here are some of the things that you can post about that really speak to those decision makers. The first is trends that you're seeing across the entire industry, field, or across organizations as a whole. The second are blind spots. What are the kinds of blind spots that leaders often have about how they should go about solving particular problems inside their organization? The third is you can post about the kinds of strategic questions that you're getting from other decision makers. This is one of my favorite things to have our Bold House members do. Take a conversation that you just had with a decision maker where they were asking tough questions about how to affect a positive change or transformation inside the organization and turn that question from a specific decision maker that you just had into a great content for a post. A great example would be, here's what's not working with employee engagement right now, or here's what's not working when it comes to retaining the right talent right now. Or here's what's not working when it comes to improving quality control or productivity inside an organization. Next is sharing about the right solution set for solving the types of problems that those organizations most want to solve. If you help them improve quality assurance or safety, what are some of the things that should be a part of that solution set? Some things that they're doing already internally, some things they may need outside experts like you for, but what does that solution set really look like? They often don't know the solutions they should even be considering. Once you've made sure that your connections are the right people, the right decision makers on LinkedIn, and you start posting content that is really aimed at decision makers, not how-to information aimed at first-line employees, the next step in the process is to use your content in order to create real-life engagement with decision makers. And by real-life engagement, I'm not talking about more follows, more likes, or comments on your post, or even downloads for free information on your website. I'm talking about in real life, actual engagement with decision makers where they're spending real time with you, where you're able to influence how they're thinking about solving problems in their organization, where they're actually learning about you, your firm, your solutions, and growing that trust and rapport with you specifically. And that engagement can happen virtually over things like Zoom and podcasts and one-on-one meetings, or it can happen in real life, whether that's meeting with you individually or coming to a breakout session at a conference that you're speaking at, or an executive roundtable that you're hosting in your downtown area where leaders from different organizations can attend. The goal is to use the content in order to drive that engagement, not to drive followers, not to drive connections, not to have your post go viral. Okay, before we wrap up, here is the big mistake that I promised to share with you, and that is training AI to misunderstand you. Posting the wrong kind of content on LinkedIn doesn't just train LinkedIn about who you are. It's also now shaping the way that AI sees you. It's teaching AI platforms what kind of thought leader or expert that you are. If you are reducing your content down to the most basic how-to steps out there, that's what all the AI tools will then associate you with, as opposed to being a strategic thought leader that's really lighting the way for what senior decision makers should be thinking about, where they should be investing their resources, where they should be headed inside their organization when it comes to solving those department-wide, division-wide, or enterprise-wide challenges. And that's what you want to be associated with. That's what you want your boutique services firm or consulting firm to be associated with. That's why it's critical to create connections with the very people that you can and will be hired by, as well as creating content that influences how those buyers, how those decision makers are thinking about investing their time and resources in order to solve the very challenges that you created your firm in order to solve. Now that you have 3 very specific and practical steps for better utilizing LinkedIn in order to get consulting clients, the next video you want to check out is how to get consulting clients fast. In that video, I share with you very strategic ways to better create real-life engagement with discerning decision makers. I put that link right in the description below. Click on that now and I'll meet you over there.